Something that kind of shocked me yesterday. One of my, I'd say she's a friend or an ally of some kind, but not like a true friend, you know. I saw her yesterday, and she didn't even know I was locked up. I've been gone for like 11 weeks straight. She noticed me being absent. She noticed me being absent from certain things. She's like, so, why aren't you going to this place anymore? I didn't see you there. She didn't put, I didn't tell her I was locked up. I kind of, she knew about my last court trial against the police and stuff. You know, she knew about that. And then, but she thought that was over and stuff, you know, like, they didn't know about the second hit against me of lockup. So she was totally clueless. I didn't really tell her. I kind of hinted that I was locked up again. But it shocked me. I'm like, I thought they slandered me pretty well, you know, to the public. I thought they did. But I guess, because some of the allies out there knew knew I was locked up. They figured it out, you know, that I was locked up, you know. But some did not know. They were like, oh, hey, I haven't seen you in a while. What's up? I'm like, oh, you don't know? You don't know that I was locked up in maximum security jail? You don't know that? Okay, all right. So I didn't tell her. I'm like, there's this other thing going on, you know, another. I'm like, the court stuff isn't quite done yet. That's what I told her. I didn't tell her I was locked up in maximum security jail for a while. I don't know. It was pretty funny. But yeah. It's a miracle I'm out right now, but I only have a short window. That's what I thought about today. I only have a short window before I'm locked up again. So I gotta make good use of this window I have, you know what I mean, outside of lockup, to make a difference for this city, for the better, in a better way, not in the way I did before, not in the good old boy style of intimidation and scare tactic, not their way. I gotta do it a different way, a more peaceful way, you know what I mean, because that's what God showed me. The peaceful way is the way to go, you know. Like the way the people did it. Even though most of the people in the city wanted to do it my way, they did. You know what I mean? Like in jail, we don't blame you for you know, the way you went about it. We don't blame you. They're like, you knew you'd be here, locked up. I'm like, yeah. But they're like, we don't blame you. We know how wicked they all are. You know what I mean? So the people get it. The people get it. They just restrained themselves and voted them out instead. They did it better than me. You know what I mean? I didn't believe in voting. I admit that. I stopped believing in voting at all. I thought it was all rigged. It didn't matter. I did. I'm like, full war. Voting's over with. Full warfare. Revolution. We're taking over. We're starting over, taking over, writing a whole new constitution. I'm not kidding. Putting up a whole different flag in place of the USA flag. We're going all in. I'm not kidding. Some of us still believe that. We believe we gotta win a war to get our rights. I'm not kidding. Especially after being locked up again. I'm like, we gotta win a war somehow. Somehow. Not sure how yet. You know, God has to bless the war for us to win the war. That's what I realized, you know. We can't do it the way I was doing it, you know. For God to bless our side of the war to defeat the USA, you know. We need God's blessing. We have to do it the right way. Otherwise, we won't win. That's what I realized. If we use their methods, we won't win. You know, so I don't know. So, but anyways, that's not what this video is about. It's about my ally didn't even know I was locked up. I'm like, how? How's that possible? How's that possible? I guess it's possible. In a small city like this, she didn't even know. Anyways, secrets, it's a secret. But yeah. But yeah, another lady was saying like we're at the verge of civil war. I'm like, hello, the Revolutionary War already started. You know what I mean? This is that's what I was telling her. I'm like, the Revolutionary War started in June. It's still going. We're getting bigger. I'm like, is this bigger than Civil War? It's way bigger than Civil War. It's not like two sides. It's like we're trying to conquer, start over. It's not a joke. That's why they locked me up. That's one reason they locked me up. They knew I started the Revolutionary War, Part Two, legitimately. I just followed the blueprint. I followed the blueprint of what they did in the 1700s. They wrote a Declaration of Independence to Great Britain. That's what I did. I wrote my Declaration of Independence from the USA and signed it. I just followed their blueprint, and then I declared Revolutionary War, you know, along with 1,000 others. So they didn't like that. They didn't like that. It made me a POW immediately. They made me a POW immediately. I'm like, I'm a POW right now. In maximum security, this is POW. I'm a POW of the USA. 100%. 100% approved by the Donald, probably. He's like, lock him up. Don't make sure he never gets out. But God showed mercy. God showed mercy. And I think this was key. The good old boys, that locked me up, they lost the election big time. And that kind of showed them that God is not messing around either. God's not messing around. He doesn't see things their way. You know what I mean? Of locking me up, he didn't fully see you know what I'm saying? Otherwise, they would have won the election. You know what I'm saying? But they didn't. So they're like, oh, oh, God's pissed too. Let this man go. So they did. I don't fight alone. I don't fight alone. I just hope God helps. I just hope he helps sometimes. If he doesn't, I just sit in jail forever. You know what I mean? Looking at the sun through a cage. Like in The Dark Knight Rises, looking at that sun through the cage. I can still see it now. Maybe one day we'll get out of here. Maybe one day we'll get out of here. Maybe one day. They don't want us to get out of there. They make money off us. That's another con. They make money. The longer we sit in jail, the more money they make off us. It's so messed up. So they try to keep us forever. But in some ways, their greed is an ally of ours. If it wasn't for their greed to make money off us in jail, they would just execute us and kill us off. We're no use to them. So I'm kind of thankful that they're greedy. You know what I'm saying? Making money off us. I'm like, at least they're not shooting us in the back. You know what I mean? Like they want to. You know. So that's what the other inmates didn't get. I'm like, they want to kill us. Hello. They're just making too much money off us. You know what I'm saying? There's too much money at stake, so they don't kill us. That's the only reason why we're alive, fellas. In the concentration camp. You know? We run this concentration camp. We do. Like, we make the food. The inmates make the food. The inmates clean up the place. We do everything. The guards just sit there. They don't do much at all except for handcuff you. That's it. You know what I mean? We run that jail. Johnny runs that jail. You know what I mean? We're there 24/7, not the guards. So, that's my jail. Don't you forget it. That's what I told an inmate. I'm like, I'm prepped to stay here for a year. Because I was prepped to stay there for a year already. Because I was planning on losing against the police, you know. In my jury trials, I was planning to lose against the jury, you know, against the police. Because, the police always win, you know. So I'm like, I was prepped to serve a year already before they put me in there, you know. So I was already prepped, you know. I'm like, I'm already prepped for a year in here, so whatever. But God's mercy, it wasn't a year, but County jail is rough. You know, I can imagine. I was there 2 months, like 10 more months. It's rough. Some of those guys were there for 3 years. I'm like, whoa. And it takes some superhuman ability to be in that confined unit for 3 years straight, never seeing the sun. The ones that have been there the longest, they never went out to see the sun. They gave up hope. We, the newer guys, were like, we still want to see the sunlight. If they offer sunlight, we're going. You know, even if it's for 15 minutes, we want to see that sun through the cage. We want to know that there's still something out there. But anyway, but through all that, one of my friends, I guess she's a friend, I don't know, allies, she didn't even know I was locked up the whole time. How funny is that? Anyway, I just thought I'd share that. And that's all I'll say for this video. Cowboy out.